Hi, I'm the Box Office Wizard, bringing you weekend box office predictions and movie review. For today's show, I'm going to review the actual numbers from this past weekend's box office, and also just some movie news on a movie called Mudbound. Number one, like I said, it was kind of going to be a mini battle. Really wasn't quite sure what movie may or may not finish out on top. Split actually finished for the second week in a row at number one. Had a really good weekend, not a big drop, came in at $25.6 million. My prediction was 18.7, so obviously I was off. But either way, though, this movie had a great second weekend. It's now at about $78 million here in the U.S. It did cross over $100 million worldwide overall, so this movie only has a $9 million budget, so they're going to reap some big rewards on this movie as well. So I'm glad it's doing well. I can't wait to see it. I have not checked it out yet, but I definitely will. So second place was a movie I actually picked for number one, was A Dog's Purpose. Came in at $18.2 million. So obviously the controversy did not affect it in very little, if any, at all. My prediction was $20.5 million, so this movie's off to a good start. Be kind of interesting to see what happens here in the second week. It's still kind of one of those that, how do you kind of predict the second weekend for this movie? Is it just something that everybody wanted to go see? But you know, these kind of movies seem to be doing very well right now. Because the next one's Hidden Figures, which finished in third. These types of movies here, you know, they just seem to be doing very well, and some of the other movies that usually do very well just have not had anything revenue-wise over the last few months. So, but Hidden Figures came in at $14 million. My prediction was 11.1. This movie only had 11% drop. It did cross over $100 million this past weekend, as predicted, and you know, it's just continuing to do very well. If I remember right, I think it picked up a SAG award. I don't know exactly what night those were, so but it will definitely be interesting to see if it does get the Oscar or not. So finishing in fourth was another debut, Resident Evil, came in at $13.6 million, a little bit on the light side. My prediction was $16.3 million. However, though, it's doing pretty good overseas so far. It's at $65 million. It still has China to play in. You never know how well it'll do there, but either way, though, they're making, you know, it seems like it's off to an okay start overall for if you look at the worldwide numbers. So finishing in fifth was La La Land. It did cross over $100 million as well here in the U.S. Came in at $12.2 million. My prediction was $10.3, so it wasn't too bad there. Big thing that made this movie hard once again was they added 1,300 theaters back to this. So you know, they're trying to get that Oscar buzz, everything else, all that good stuff. So this movie, every week I've had difficulty trying to predict where it'll land. So so overall, though, not too bad. The movie's doing very well, and it will continue to do so, especially if it does get that Oscar win. So finishing in sixth was Triple X, came in at $8.6 million. I made a prediction of 9.7, so I wasn't too much off. Had the expected drop of you know, I think it was about 40% off, or excuse me, 60% off, and which isn't unusual for this type of movie. It's only made $34 million here in the U.S. Has made, though, $89 million overseas. So you know, Vin Diesel, he has that that faithful following overseas. So this movie will continue to do very well overall. So finishing seventh was Sing at $6.4 million. I made a prediction of $5.85 million. It's now made $464 million worldwide, and this movie should be wrapping up in the next few weeks. Coming in eighth was Rogue One. Another good weekend at $5.3 million. My projection was 4.1, so it didn't quite drop as much as I thought it would. Overall, though, here in the U.S., it's now at $520 million. Finishing at ninth is Monster Trucks. Came in at $4.1 million. I actually went a little bit low thinking it'd finally have a drop, and it didn't. I put it at $3.4 million. It's now made $51 million worldwide. So, like I said, I haven't even met anybody that's actually seen it. Kind of curious to see what they really liked it or did not. But overall, though, probably got another week or two and then it'll be done. So, rounding out the top 10 was Gold. As expected, this movie did not perform very well. Came in at only $3.5 million. I made a prediction of 3.9, so you know, it's probably right there where it was expected. And overall, you know, it may even be gone by next weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see. Movie news, the only thing I have is there's a movie called Mudbound. Just played at the Sundance Film Festival this past week, and it got a standing ovation. And initially, they thought there would be a big bidding war on this movie to the rights to it, and initially nothing materialized. Netflix jumped in, paid $12.5 million to get the rights to distribute it. They're actually going to release this movie simultaneously online and in the theaters at the exact same time. So they did do this before as well. So kind of be interested to see, obviously if it's a success once, they're going to try it again. So what this movie's about is a couple who moves to southern Mississippi during segregation, all that stuff. So obviously there's going to be a lot of civil rights issues and so forth with it. So it's kind of a movie that kind of something I'm interested in. I like a lot of historical things as well. So I'm kind of anxious to see when this movie comes out. I definitely want to see it. So hey, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back on Friday giving you predictions you can count on that are better than the weatherman. Take care.